Hello, I'm Sarah, and I am on a quest to uncover all the magical stories that hide in the corners of our imagination. And one of those stories is about a hidden kingdom that exists in our dreams. As someone who's spent countless nights dreaming of far-off lands and magical creatures, I think I'm qualified to take you on this incredible journey. So, are you ready to dive into a world where anything is possible? Let's go. You know, when I was a kid, I always wondered what happened to my dreams when I woke up. Did they just disappear? Or did they go somewhere special? Well, let me tell you about 3 curious kids who found out the answer to that question in the most extraordinary way. Meet Ayaan, Zoya, and Hana. They're best friends who love nothing more than a good adventure. One night, as the clock struck midnight, something magical happened in Ayaan's attic. An old, dusty book that had been sitting on a shelf for years suddenly began to glow. Now, I don't know about you, but if I saw a glowing book, I'd probably run the other way. But not these 3 brave kids. As they crept closer, the book seemed to hum with energy. Zoya, always the bravest, reached out and opened it. And that's when things got really wild. A swirling, sparkling portal burst out of the pages, pulling them in before they could even shout for help. It was like being on the world's most exciting roller coaster, except instead of rails, they were riding on streams of stardust and moonbeams. When they finally landed, they found themselves in a place that could only exist in the wildest of imaginations. Welcome to Dreamland. Picture this: talking animals strolling around like it's no big deal, islands floating in the sky like giant, fluffy clouds, and forests made entirely of candy. I'm talking lollipop trees, chocolate rivers, and gummy bear bushes. It was enough to make your teeth ache just looking at it. But as amazing as it all was, our 3 friends quickly realized that something wasn't quite right in this magical kingdom. The colors seemed a bit dim, and there was a feeling of worry in the air. That's when they met the Moon Guardian, a wise old owl with feathers that shimmered like starlight. "Welcome, young dreamers!" the Moon Guardian hooted softly. "I'm afraid you've arrived at a troubling time for our realm." He went on to explain that the Dream Crystal, a powerful magical artifact that kept Dreamland safe and beautiful, had been stolen by the dastardly Night Phantom. Now, the Night Phantom was a shadowy figure that lurked in the darkest corners of Dreamland. He was jealous of all the happy dreams and wanted to turn them into nightmares. Without the Dream Crystal, that's exactly what was happening. Sweet dreams were turning sour, and the inhabitants of Dreamland were getting more scared by the minute. But there was hope. The Moon Guardian told Ayaan, Zoya, and Hana that they could save Dreamland if they found 3 magical keys hidden throughout the realm. These keys would unlock the secret hiding place of the Dream Crystal. It was a big task, but our brave trio didn't hesitate for a second. They were ready for the challenge. Their journey through Dreamland was like nothing you've ever imagined. Their first stop was the cotton candy clouds, where they had to navigate through a maze of fluffy pink and blue clouds without falling through. It was tricky business, let me tell you. One wrong step and you'd find yourself plummeting through the sky. But Ayaan had an idea. He noticed that some clouds were firmer than others and created a path. By working together and calling out safe spots to each other, they made it across and found the first key hidden in a cloud, shaped like a key. Clever, right? Next up was the Puzzle Forest. Now, this wasn't your ordinary forest. Every tree was a giant puzzle that needed to be solved to pass through. There were riddles written in bark, jigsaw, puzzle leaves, and even trees that rearranged themselves when you weren't looking. It was enough to make your head spin. But Zoya, with her quick thinking, figured out that the riddles on each tree gave clues to solve the next one. By putting their heads together and combining their problem-solving skills, they unraveled the forest's secrets and found the second key hanging from the branches of the wisest old tree. Their final destination was the Ocean of Stars. Imagine an ocean where the water is made of liquid starlight, and constellations swim around like fish. It was beautiful, but also dangerous. The star waves could sweep you away in an instant if you weren't careful. Hana, who had always been fascinated by astronomy, recognized the constellations. She realized they were forming a map that led to the final key. By following the patterns in the sky and working together to stay afloat on a raft made of moonbeams, they reached a small island where the 3rd key was waiting for them. But their adventure wasn't over yet. The Night Phantom wasn't about to let them win, so as he sent his dream monsters to stop them at every turn. There were shadow creatures that tried to scare them, puzzle monsters that tried to confuse them, and even a giant pillow monster that tried to put them to sleep forever. But every time the Night Phantom threw an obstacle in their way, Ayaan, Zoya, and Hana found a way to overcome it. They used their bravery to face the shadow creatures, their smarts to outsmart the puzzle monsters, and their teamwork to defeat the pillow monster. Finally, with all 3 keys in hand, they made their way to the shadow castle where the Night Phantom lived. It was a spooky place, full of dark corners and eerie whispers. But our heroes weren't afraid. They had come too far to turn back now. In the heart of the castle, they found the Night Phantom guarding a locked chest. He was a swirling mass of darkness with glowing red eyes, and he did not look happy to see them. "You'll never get past me," he roared. But Ayaan had a clever idea. He remembered something the Moon Guardian had said about the Night Phantom being afraid of happy thoughts. So, the 3 friends joined hands and began to think of all the wonderful dreams they'd had, all the amazing things they'd seen in Dreamland. As they did, their bodies began to glow with a warm, golden light. The Night Phantom hissed and retreated from the light, giving them the chance to use the keys and unlock the chest. Inside, they found the Dream Crystal, shimmering with all the colors of the rainbow. The moment they touched it, a wave of light and happiness spread throughout Dreamland. The dim colors brightened, the worried faces of the dream creatures turned to smiles, and even the Night Phantom himself seemed to soften a little. With Dreamland saved, it was time for our heroes to return home. But before they left, the Moon Guardian had a surprise for them. He gave each of them a tiny, glowing star. "These stars," he explained, "are a gift for your bravery and kindness. With them, you can return to Dreamland whenever you dream, for you have proven yourselves true guardians of the dream realm." As Ayaan, Zoya, and Hana felt themselves being pulled back to the real world, they knew that their adventure had changed them forever. They had learned that with bravery, creativity, and teamwork, they could overcome any challenge. And most importantly, they had discovered the true power of dreams: to inspire, to create, and to bring people together. So, the next time you're drifting off to sleep, remember the hidden kingdom of Dreamland. Who knows, maybe you'll find yourself on your own magical adventure. After all, in the world of dreams, anything is possible. That's it for this story. Let me know in the comments below what kind of dreams you'd like to have in Dreamland. Would you visit the cotton candy clouds or dive into the ocean of stars? Or maybe you have an idea for a whole new part of Dreamland. I'd love to hear about it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more magical stories that will spark your imagination. Until next time, sweet dreams and happy adventures.